come in the house, grab a black hoodie for me, grab a black hoodie for Shorty, grab some nails, some milk, some eggs, a hammer, and we handle business. She called me from private numbers. She literally called me from a private number and started playing Set It Off. Set it off for this whoop. Set it off. I said, that's what you want to do? Let's do it. What's good, y'all? It's your girl, it's your fave, Jstdej, and I'm back with another video today, you guys. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe for me, okay? And if you're not, welcome back to another video. If you have not watched my last video, make sure that you go and watch it. Make sure that you leave a little comment for me. That is my first video back on YouTube. That is my first video back on YouTube in these last couple of months, and I feel like I'll put my foot in it. Go and watch it. Go and watch it if y'all want, you know, to catch up and kind of know what's been going on in my life. But today's video is going to be completely different. Zeus! You want to take a bath? Come on, let's take a bath. Let's go. That's what I thought. I'm about to give y'all some tea. So this is basically going to be one of my dating experiences in Houston, and it was literally crazy, man. Y'all, what I'm about to tell y'all, I have never done in my life, and I will never do in my life ever again, I promise. Okay, I crashed out real bad. Literally crashed. Literally. You know what I'm saying? You know, hopping fences, jumping gates, ducking the law, all of that. So if you're interested, make sure that you keep watching this video. So I have to give this character a name. So I'm gonna call him Spalding because he was bald as hell. So I'm going to call him Spalding. That is going to be his name for this video. So backstory, let's talk about how I met Spalding. So if y'all are in Houston, y'all know of a place called Urban Social. So Urban Social is this kind of rather small place. It's really, really small, but they got really strong drinks. They don't sell any food, but they have like a food truck that's kind of in the back. And they usually have pretty good food. So cool. So I'm just chilling. I'm with one of my friends, and we going to Urban Social. They're probably about to close in like 30 minutes or something like that. We just wanted to get us a quick drink. So we go into Urban Social, and we just chilling. I'm just chilling by the DJ booth. My friend had already found somebody, you know what I'm saying, at the bar that wanted to buy her little drink. So she just went over there to get her little drink, her little twos and brews. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm just sitting there bopping my head, but you know, I'm watching out. I'm looking out, you know what I'm saying, make sure that she good because I don't want to have to up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching her, whatever, she good. So I'm just standing there, and Spalding walks up to me, and he's like asking me like, what am I drinking? You know, whatever. And I was like, I really don't, you know, mind, you know, trying to be cutesy and demure. But I'm like, you know, pretty much anything. So I ended up getting, I think, like a green tea shot or something, because we had already been drinking prior to, you know, us going into the bar or whatever. So I'm already like, I'm cool. So he goes to the bar, he gets me a drink, he comes back, and he gets to like chopping it up with me. Man, we don't have a lot of time to talk, and I wasn't necessarily attracted to him, so I really wasn't holding a conversation. I just wanted my yak. So I'm like, okay. So we get to talking. I'm like, how old are you? He old. He old. Older than 40, older than 45. He old. So, but that's like Urban Social. Urban Social is like a older spot. You know, older people be at that spot. So if you're trying to catch you something, you know, those stable men, those older men, the men with them good jobs, them good jobs, that's where you want to go. Urban Social. Tell them I sent you. So okay, cool. So we chopping it up, we kind of talking, and I'm asking all the right questions. I'm like, how many kids you got? After he told me how old he was, I was like, how many kids you got? He said 2. I said, okay, cool. I said, well, what do you do for work? He's like, oh, I'm a software engineer. You know, all I see was dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs. So we ended up exchanging numbers or whatever. So he did end up texting me the next day, and I ain't gonna lie, like I told y'all, I wasn't really attracted to him. So he had been trying to get up with me for honestly probably like 2 weeks, and I still, you know, I'm still working from home and all of that stuff. So he would always be like, we should go to lunch, and I'm like, what kind of lunch breaks do you get? Because I only got an hour, so by the time I get to you, I'm only gonna have 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of like ducking him. So, okay, he still was pressing me, still kind of like trying to see me and stuff. So I finally ended up going out with him. So when I went out with him, we ended up going to Moxie's. If y'all haven't been to Moxie's in Houston, Moxie's is actually pretty good. I recommend their nachos. They're delicious. It's a huge place. Like, I think it's called 1 pound nachos. So we ended up going there, and I ain't gonna lie, the vibe was vibing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was playing my role. The vibe was vibing. I feel like I was playing my role. Everything was good. I think that we stayed there literally until they closed. Like, they was putting up chairs, girl. They was putting up chairs, turning the lights on and that, everything. Like, okay, this reunion is over. You know what I'm saying? So after that, we left. Everything was cool, whatever. And you know me, I'm peeping. I'm trying to see what he drive. I said, software engineer, let me see what's going on. It wasn't nothing impressive. He drove an Impala. So I kind of felt like he was lying. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But some men are just not flashy like that. So he very much was not flashy. I feel like he was kind of frugal, generous to a certain extent, but very frugal. After that, we did have like a series of dates. There wasn't like no extravagant like dates, nothing like that. We just always kind of go out to eat. We go to lounges, you know what I'm saying? All type of stuff like that. And so I feel like the probably third date that we had went on, I kind of felt like he was trying to flex a little bit, because I was asking him, like, I be trying to, this is what you gotta do. You kind of gotta test, you gotta test the waters, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me see what is really giving. So we had went out. I had said that I wanted hookah, I wanted, you know, all of this stuff. I just said that I wanted a bunch of stuff. And he was like, and I was like, is it okay, like, that I get all of this stuff? Is that okay? You know what I'm saying? He's like, you can get whatever you want. Bad. After that, I kind of feel like the situationship to me started like kind of progressing to the point where we would hang out, you know what I'm saying, all type of stuff all the time. And it came to a point where this man is talking about, I think I love you. I literally was at this, no, I was at home and he randomly called me. This is at like 2 or 2:30 or like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And he gets a call on my phone and I'm like, hello, you know, and he like yelling. He like dang near like yelling. And I'm like, where are you? You know what I'm saying? And he like, oh, I'm in the club or somewhere. He was out at the bar or whatever. He was like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm in love with you. What? I'm like, okay, I'll do anything for you. I don't even care. I don't care about this job. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I'm like, you're going a little too far. What you mean you don't care about the paper? No, absolutely not. So that happened, right? So after that, mind you, like I said, we was kind of like hanging out and stuff like that, but I still didn't feel like it was nothing major. So one day I'm cooling at home again, like an incident that's very similar. I'm cooling at home again. He called on my phone at 2 in the morning. He's like, hello? Are you busy? Catch your Z's, slobbing on the pillow, in my bonnet, cooling in my big t-shirt. What's up? You know? He like, I need you to come and get me. You need me to come and get you? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm like, where are you? He like, I was driving. He was like, I was driving and I got pulled over and they won't let me drive. What? Man, y'all, I probably have known this man for like a month. I probably have known him for like a month and a half, maybe like 2, probably pushing it. Not probably maybe 2 months. And so I'm like, okay, I'm like, well, where are you? You know what I'm saying? This is when I was like more so like newer to Houston. So I'm like, where are you? He's talking about, oh, off of highway, this, that, and the third over by the, drop the Addy. Send me the Addy, I'm hunting them down. What, where is you at? Like, I don't know what that means. Like, do not give me no instructions like that. Head north on 50. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, give me landmarks or send me the address. I can't mess with the vibes. So he sends me the address. So I get up. Man, y'all, at the time, like, I wear glasses. So I had literally just broke my glasses probably the week before. So I'm driving, I'm driving, coming to him. I got these glasses on. I only got one leg on the glasses and everything. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm about to pop my contacts in for this, because after this, I'm going home. I go there, I finally get there, and he's in the parking lot of like a Whataburger. So there's like 3 police cars there. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? What? Okay. So I walked up, man, y'all, this was the first time that I ever really seen like police officers or like sheriffs and kind of stuff like that in Texas. And so I'm looking, I'm like, man, I get out the car, these police officers got on cowboy hats and cowboy boots. I'm looking like, this look like a movie scene. Like, this looks like a movie scene. This literally, like, you look like your name is Dirty Dan. You know what I'm saying? If you a real one, you know where I got that from. So I pull up over there, I walk up over there, and they ask for my license. I give them my license or whatever, and they like, okay, you know, he can't drive this car. You need to drive him home, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, like, that's fine or whatever. So we probably waited maybe like 30-45 minutes, and he just sitting in the car looking mad and embarrassed, because I'm like, you too old for this, you too old for this. So he looking like mad and embarrassed, and I'm just looking like, okay, like, how was your night? You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking like, what is going on here? Like, what? Why did I even get up and do that? So I'm like, okay. So we just sitting there chopping up a little bit. Once they family leave, because they did sit in the parking lot for a little bit, you know, we just chopping it up or whatever. And he was just being appreciative and all that stuff. So he really wasn't that far from his house. I don't know why he couldn't make it to the house, but he literally was not that far. We probably drove like 7 minutes, maybe 6-7 minutes to get to his house from the Whataburger parking lot. We didn't end up getting his car. I just ended up taking him home. He left his car, and then he went and got it the next day. He like Uber to go and get it or something like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we go, we walk up to like his apartment or whatever, and he was just, I just feel like embarrassed, you know what I'm saying? And so he's like, you know, I'm really sorry about this. And this man gonna say, Spalding is literally gonna say, like, is there anything I can do for you? Like, I can buy you some new glasses. You trying to be funny? You trying to be funny? I should have left you there, but okay. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, no, like, it's fine, it's fine. I would never be like that ever again. I'm so not like that anymore, because yeah, there's a lot that you could do for me, and I got a list. So I'm like, no, like, it's fine, whatever. So I end up going home, and that was pretty much the end of like that situation. That was the end. So now at this point, like, the situationship kind of progressed. So this is like months and months down the line, you know, things like that. Mind you, y'all need to ask the right questions, because I didn't ask the right questions. This man, I told, it was around my birthday, and this is when, like, right before I went to Miami with, I'm gonna get there. This is right before I went to Miami and before I went to Turks and Caicos. If y'all haven't seen those vlogs, I'll link them down below so that y'all can go and watch those travel vlogs. But this is right before I went to those vacations. I had both those vacations in the same month. So I'm basically asking him, like, you know, this done progressed, this done did whatever it needs to do. My birthday coming up, I want to go on a trip. I want to go on a trip. So I probably asked him maybe like a month prior to. And he basically like, oh, well, I'm going to have to see, blah, blah, blah. He's saying all of this stuff, because long and behold, I literally have my friend who's a lawyer, and I use her for everything. I have her background check every man that I ever messed with because of this situation. I said, okay, look him up. I had his birthday, I knew where he lived, I had his first name, I had his last, I had everything that I needed. I gave it to her. Why does the documentation come back that this man is still married? This man is still married. Why would you do that? Y'all, on my soul, I want to just lick my hand and slap his head, because why would you do that? So we get to talking about it. He's like, oh, well, we separated, this, and the third. So he did have a house. He had like a house or whatever. And I guess his ex-wife, which really wasn't his ex-wife because they were separated, lived in the house, and he lived in the apartment. So the two daughters and the mom lived in the house, and he had his apartment where I dropped him off when the first incident happened. And so I'm like, okay, like, I mean, I never seen anything serious anyway. It does say the divorce was filed. Do I agree with messing with somebody who's still whatever's going on? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I was being greedy, and I had just lost my job around that time, so I was really trying to get them dubs. So now back to the birthday. So like, my birthday coming up. So his excuse basically was like, because he's going through the separation and his wife was a housewife, she basically, all the receipts, all the this, all of that, everything, all of that could have been used against him. That's not my problem. Not my problem. It's not my problem. I'm like, so is that a no? Like, I understand everything that you're saying, but it's not registering. Is this like a yes or a no? And long story short, the answer was no. And mind you, in my head, I'm like, you still giving me bread to do all of this other stuff, so what's the difference? And he's like, I mean, to be honest, my lawyer is saying it's not a good idea, but I don't care. I'll do anything for you. Okay, do anything for me and take me on this trip. I'm trying to go out the country. What are we talking about? So, you know what I did? I said, it's completely fine. He could end up going on a trip. So guess what? My ex-future baby dad took me on a trip. Because what is we talking about? He loved me. So that's when Jamel had took me out to Miami. That's a super good vlog. We had such a good time. I was just like, I love him. So if you haven't seen that vlog, like I said, I'll leave it linked somewhere down below, or you can find it in like my vlogs. So we ended up going to Miami. At this time, mind you, I don't have no dog sitter. I was having to pay dog sitters, but Zeus ended up getting into a whole brawl with one of the dogs that he was at the house with the people or whatever that I had booked, you know, to watch him while I was on vacation. And so now I'm on pins and needles while I'm you know, on vacation, because I'm like, what's going on? I know your dog is trying to bully my dog, and he better fight back. Like, what's going on? Because if you don't beat him, I'm gonna beat you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so all that's going on. So long story short, he ended up watching Zeus for me while I was in Miami with Jermel. So cool. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Mind you, he's not like a social media person, so I'm, you know, vlogging and all that stuff and posted this vlog, and not even thinking that he would see this vlog. Y'all really have to watch that vlog, because I can understand why he was upset. So I'm like, okay. So made the vlog, this, that, and the third. He asked me how my trip was. He thinking it's a solo trip. That's what I told him, that I was just going on a solo trip, because why you in my business? You didn't tell me what you had going on at first, so now I don't care. Everything's cool. I come back, no issues. It is what it is. Right after that, I ended up going to Turks. So the same week that I had came back from Miami, I ended up going to Turks literally like 3 or 4 days later for Simone's birthday. So man, y'all, I done already posted my Miami vlog, and I should have known, because I had posted my vlog on my page. He don't think that I know his Instagram, but I know his Instagram name because it's the same as his Snapchat name, even though he doesn't use social media like that. So I'm looking and I'm seeing the Snapchat name that literally matches this Snapchat name. Like, come on, bro. I'm a millennial. Like, you cannot give it up. Just give it up. You're not tech savvy. You don't know what's going on. So, okay, cool. And I see him, and he's watching my stories. He doing all that stuff, and still watches my stories to this day. So, watching my stories or whatever. And I just so happened to be in the other room on the phone one day when he was over here. And I hear the intro to my video, to a, like, I don't know if it was it was the vlog, my guess is. But I hear the intro to my video, and I'm like, okay. And I had got up and I looked, and when I had looked, he was looking at his phone. Then he like looked up, he clicked out of it, because I felt like he know I heard it. He didn't know his phone was turned up. And I'm like, this man is looking at my YouTube videos. Why are you watching my YouTube videos? Why is he doing that? So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So literally after that is when I ended up going to Turks a couple of days later. So a couple of days later when I'm in Turks, it's so much going on, y'all. It's so much going on. This is the last day that we was in Turks. And so I don't know why I didn't get braids. I should have. I had a bust down just like this, and I'm in there curling my hair. Everybody else got braids. They ready. I'm like, let me hurry up, because I'm moving like lava. So I'm doing my hair, and I open my messages, and it says Spalding. I open it, and it's a long message. I mean, a novel. It looked like a Twilight book. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm like, on top of that, he had an Android, so I'm looking at this big green text messages. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? So I'm looking at this message, and I'm like, what is going on? And he basically is telling me, like, just so you know, I watched your YouTube video, you was dishonest with me, you went on vacation with your ex, blah blah blah. I am just like, oh my God, why? And how did you even find my Instagram? I'm like, what's going on here? So y'all, at this point, I don't even care. I'm in here trying to curl my hair. I done grabbed the flat irons with my hands just like this, literally trying to grab my phone, texted him back, whatever's going on. Y'all, I literally burned my hand. Like 30 minutes before we was getting ready to leave, probably 20-30 minutes before we were ready to leave, I'm sitting here in front of the refrigerator, in front of the ice box, with my hand in a box of ice. And if my hand is so hot, it just feels like it's melting. Like, it feels like it's just melted. My hand was jacked up. I was walking around like this. Like, my hand was so burned. Oh my God, it was miserable. And so anyways, I'm like, I don't have time for this, y'all. We literally, so after all that, we kind of had like our conversation. I was like, I really can't do this right now, whatever. So we really had to have the conversation once I got back home. After that, we ended up, so I'm still in Turks. We went out, y'all. We went out to go and eat, and it's crazy because we literally was at one of those most popular restaurants in Turks, and we seen B.O.B. It was so lit. I'm gonna put a picture or something right here so y'all can see. But we literally ran into B.O.B., y'all, and I felt so dumb because I'm sitting over here with a cup of ice. A cup of ice with my hand in it like this because it's burning so bad. I'm sitting here eating with one hand, like the whole cup of ice melted. My hand just felt so hot and tight, like, oh my God, it was awful. So anyway, now at this point, I'm back home now and we're having the conversation, and I could completely tell that this man, he just talked about he felt so disrespected. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the third. I lied, I deceived. I said, well, I was just trying to get like you, twin. Did you not do the same thing? Oh, okay. Okay. So, fine. It is what it is at that point. So, I'm thinking everything cool, but I feel like probably a month and a half to 2 months or something like that, we cool and we just riding in the car. I don't remember where we was going. And he had asked me to grab his phone or like do something on his phone. And so when I looked at it, I had seen a Snapchat. And the Snapchat that was coming in was from some girl named Ebony. It said Ebony. And so I'm asking, I'm like, well, who Ebony? Because he was just over here crucifying me. I was like, who's Ebony? You know what I'm saying? He like, oh, she's just a friend from college. You know, she's whatever. And in my head, I'm thinking like, I know your bald ass is not. I know you're not. Don't play with me. I know you're not. Because regardless of how I felt about him as an individual and all of the stuff that happened prior to, your dirt is dirtier than mine. What's going on here? Because you ain't never trying to play chess when it's checkers. So I ain't think nothing of it. I'm like, whatever. So I kind of feel like after that, probably like a month or maybe probably like a month after that, he kind of started being weird. So I remember this was around the time where his oldest daughter was graduating because he had older kids. Man, his daughters is hella smart. Both of them go to Spalding. And so I'm like, okay. I called him and he just being super weird on the phone. I'm like, what's going on? Like, you good? I was like, I called you, whatever, because we were supposed to go to the mall. And so I'm like, what's going on? Whatever. He was like, oh, well, I had stuff to do. It's so-and-so's graduation, or it's a party, or whatever it was that was going on at the house. At not his apartment, but the wife house at this point, the ex-wife, whatever, at this point. And so I'm like, okay, just being super weird. So now at this point, we done kind of got to February, because this was around the time that the Super Bowl happened. So I remember him texting me, inviting me to the Super Bowl, coming to watch the Super Bowl or whatever with him. And so I'm like, okay, well, I got an appointment. I was getting my hair done. I was like, I got an appointment, but I'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? So I was supposed to meet him at Poor Behavior at like a certain time. So once I finally finished getting my hair done, I'm calling him, I'm texting him. I'm like, why you not answering my calls? Or like what's going on? Like, this ain't like that, because he Johnny on the spot. The phone don't even ring twice before he answered my call. So I'm like, okay. So at this point, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, well, he said he's gonna be in Poor Behavior. I look cute with my hair done, what we talking about. I'm just about to go to Poor Behavior. So what do? I pulls up to Poor Behavior. And long and behold, as soon as I pull up, because I know that license plate and I know that Impala. I see the license plate. I said, do. I memorized it. I'm like, do. Number. Letter. I see the car right there, posted. I said, okay, well, he here. Well, why he not answering? I ain't giving him no excuses. Somebody would probably be like, oh, it was loud, or he probably, nah, none of that, because I got my phone in the club. At a bar. Anytime you can reach me, call me, beat me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. So what I do? I'll park. And I get to walking up in a place. I walk in a place. I'm still texting him. I'm like, you know, and it's packed. It's super packed at the Poor Behavior. And so I'm like, okay. I ended up walking into the Poor Behavior. I parked or whatever. And I just ended up getting me a drink once I could finally get to the bar. So once I finally got to the bar and I had got me a drink, I had sent him a picture. And I just showed him my drink or whatever, like kind of showing that I was at the Poor Behavior, because he still wasn't answering at that time. And I'm like, that's just so strange to me. So I'm at the bar, I'm feeling groovy. I'm not thinking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling myself. You know how you is when you first get your hair done? That was me. Okay, I was in there cooling. So I'm like, all right. So he ends up sending me a video back. Mind you, I had already met. We had went out to dinner one day, and it was his friend and his friend's girlfriend, and it was me and him. We went to B-Dubs to watch like a football game or something some months prior. And so he sends me a video, and it's just them, you know, at the Poor Behavior at the place. And so I'm like, okay, that's annoying. I just literally had to fix my camera. I was wondering why I was looking like that. So I'm like, okay, still not thinking nothing of it. So he sends me a video back. I see his friend that I had met when all of us had went out, and he got on this red sweater. Like, you can't miss this man. He looks like a target. He looked like a bullseye. Like, I can see the sweater. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm looking around. What I see? A red sweater as soon as I turn around. And it was weird because when I looked, his friend looked at me and we looked at each other, but he was looking like this. He was looking like that. And I was like, okay. And it felt like a movie, y'all. It literally felt like a movie. And so I look, and like it was somebody like right in front of me, and they moved swiftly out of my peripheral, and there I seen Spalding with some girl with a shake and go wig on. I said, oh no, you lying. I know you lying. Shut up, you're lying. And so what I do? Oh, I picks that drink up, I throw it back, I get my purse, and I mosey on over there. Okay, I mosey on over there. And I look, and y'all, and there was a table like right in front of me with people in it, but I couldn't get through any other way. Y'all, you know how you walk past the table and you hit it and it move? Oh, that's what I did. Them people had drinks and everything on that table, but I said, oh, not today. You're not about to play with me. I could play with you. Ain't about to play with me. So I walked past and I hit the table and I tapped him on the shoulder. He over there lollygagging, showing all 32. I should have tapped him on that head. I should have tapped him on that disco ball. I said, oh, okay. I said, hey. And he was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, okay. And so he stands up. And he was like, hey, he was like, he put his arm around my shoulder. He like, hey, Deja, this is Ebony. I said, hey, Ebony. She said, hey, nice to meet you. This hoe shook my hand and everything. I said, oh, okay. And so he just sitting there, you know, kind of bouncing. He said, listen to the music, trying to act like ain't nothing going on. And I'm looking like, and so I told him, I tapped him on his shoulder and I went like this. Bring your head down here, come here. I said, if you don't walk out of here with me right now, I'm gonna cause a scene. I'm gonna cause a scene. And I did this, I'm gonna cause a scene. Stop playing with me. What he do? He walk out right behind me, left shorty at the table. So I'm like, okay. We walk outside, he just get the word on me. He just talking. He's like, well, you just went on vacation with your ex. This ain't about me. This is not about me. What is we talking about here, y'all? I wanted to, oh my God. I could not believe that. I said, oh, okay, cool. That's how you feel? That's how you feel? This is what we doing? Right in the middle of him talking and explaining his stuff, I walked away. I walked away and I walked to my car and I sat in my car. Man, y'all, it's a two-way street. So my car is parked this way, but when I was coming in, I seen his car was parked this way, but kind of further down. Like this, you know what I'm saying? Me, him. This is what our cars was like. And so I'm sitting in the car, calling my homegirls. I called T. I called the other shorty I was cool with at the time. I'm like, you would never guess what happened. You know, I'm like, you would never guess what happened. So I'm giving them all the tea. Probably like 10 minutes later, I look up and it's him and her walking, and he's walking her to her car. I said, I know you're lying. I know you're lying. So I just sat there. She leaves. He walks. Well, yeah, she leaving her lemon, and he walks back into the poor behavior spot. So I finally get home at this point because I ended up pulling up on T like, T. I was like, bro. And so we just sitting there chopping it up. You know, we took a couple of shots together. I was like, no freaking way, bro. So we just chopping it up. So after all that happened, I finally get home. He blowing my hotline down, calling me, apologizing, all this stuff. I'm calling him everything with a child of God because you ain't never tried to play with me like that. So I'm like, and it's not even a thing where it's like necessarily feelings, you know what I'm saying? Because my feelings throughout this whole thing was just what it was. I still wasn't, there was nothing like a relationship for real or nothing like that to me. To him, I feel like that's what he thought. He was, you know, talking about moving for his job, talking about, you know, we gonna move, we gonna this, we gonna that. And I'm just looking like, whatever makes me not have to pay no bills, bro. Whatever. So at that point, you know, we just talking on the phone, calling him everything but a child of God. So at this point, we got back cool because, you know, he made up for it. I don't care about nothing else. I don't care about nothing else. At this point, let me fast forward. So now at this point, we kicking it, whatever. He brought some food, this, that, and the third, and we just kicking and chopping it up. She get to calling his phone. She called him probably like 3 or 4 times, y'all. I'm like, you ain't never trying to play me with an old hoe. You ain't never. Go answer that shit at the gas station. Stop playing with me, Spalding. And so, whatever. So this last time when she just kept calling, before he hung up, I said something in the background. Cause yeah, play with it. I said something in the background. So I'm like, okay, you know, cause at this point, you just being greedy. At this point, you just being greedy, and I'm about to meet you where you at. So I'm like, okay. So all of that stuff happened. So now at this point, Ebony got a problem with me. Ebony got a problem with me, and I ain't even know it. She got a problem with me. So one day I'm just out and about, right? I'm just out and about, me and T, we just kicking it. We ain't really doing too much. Drinking, whatever. I get a phone call from Spalding. I pick it up. Hello? I hear him in the background, but I hear her, like she called me from his phone type of deal. So she knew of me as you know, my guest. So she calls and she's saying all type of this, that, and the third, whatever, but she wasn't really saying nothing at that time. She hung up. I was like, hello, hello. It was just enough. She was doing just enough for me to hear her. So I hang up. No, she hangs up. And so I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. So she hangs up. So at this point, I'm like, okay. So I calls back. I said, because you had never tried to play with me. So I calls back. She like, listen here. Bitch. Okay. This what you want to do? Game on. So I'm like, what? I'm like, first off, you can have him. That's one. He the one that's still over here. So I'm just like, this is crazy to me. Mind you, this lady is like 40 years old. I'm like 27 at the time. I'm 27 at the time. I'm 30 now. You know what I'm saying? I'm 27 at the time. At this point, she's taunting me. She playing games, this, that, and the third. So at this point, this ain't even about him. Because if you know what's going on, why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me? But that's the problem. That's always the problem. The women is always mad at the women when they need to be mad at the man. That does not make sense to me. I have never been that type of woman. I ain't had no animosity towards shorty. I'm like, listen, as long as I'm still getting what I'm getting, you can have them. Pass around. Ring around the rosy if you want to. Hula hoop with the nigga. It don't even matter to me at this point. It didn't matter from the beginning, but it really don't matter at this point. My roster alone. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, now she called me everything but a child of God, steady blowing on my phone, doing all of this stuff. She called me from private numbers. She literally called me from a private number and started playing Set It Off. Set it off for this whoop. Set it off. I said, that's what you want to do? Let's do it. I'm pissed. Me and T is lit at the time, right? Me and T lit at the time. She like, what you want to do? I told her what I wanted to do. Let's go. So I'm like, all right, cool. But at the time, like I knew, to kind of backtrack a little bit, I knew what was going on because I knew what was going on because they was at his house. I don't know how I knew they was at his house, but they was at his house and at his apartment, and I don't know, I just knew. And so I'm like, oh, because she had a son, that's why. So he never went over there. She would always have to come to his apartment. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So T like, what you want to do? I said, the damn thing, let's get it. So we come back to the house, allegedly. Now the rest of this story is all going to be allegedly. Okay, allegedly. So I'm like, bet. So come in the house, grab a black hoodie for me, grab a black hoodie for shorty, grab some nails, some milk, some eggs, a hammer, and we handle business. If y'all know that song about Lil Herb and Lil Bibby Kill shit, yeah, that was playing on the way to the mission. That was playing on the way to the mission. And so we get there. The gate is closed. You know, in Houston, that's something we don't have up there in the Midwest. We ain't got no gates because we ain't got no problems. Y'all different down here. So we can't get through the gate, and it's like 4 in the morning. So 4:30 in the morning, we can't even like get through this joint. Can't even get through here, none of that. And so I'm like, oh my God, you know, and I'm like looking, and so I'm trying to climb into on top of the bushes, but I'm too heavy. I'm trying to climb on top of the bushes and climb over the gate. And I was like, I look back and I'm looking at Shorty, and I was like, you smaller than me, come here, get over here, let's dance. Come over here. And so I'm like, I'm about to lift you up. Just like how you see on the movies, I put my hands like this, she put her foot in my hand, and I boop, and she went right over the gate. She went right over the gate, and I was like, oh my God, like we whispered. I was like, are you okay? You know, she hit the ground kind of hard. I'm like, are you okay? And so she's like, I'm good, I'm good. She's like, but my leg hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much going on. So I'm like, come on this side and like stand in front of the gate so it can open. So she stands in front of the gate so it can open. My eyes got so big. I was like, come on, come on. We run to the car. We get through there. She like, you know what the car looked like? I said, absolutely. I know that played anywhere, any day. Man, y'all, all this is allegedly. I don't know how true it is. I don't know. So I'm like, yeah. And so I look, we do a wraparound, and I see that car. I see that doot on that license plate. I said, this the one. Let's get it. What? Masked up, get to work. Shorty, she got the hammer. She do, putting nails in the tires. Do. And what I'm doing? I get one of the screws, and I'm scared. I'm Picasso in that hole. Scared. You know what I'm saying? So after she did, you know, Shorty did a couple of tires and stuff like that. What I do? I go and get the eggs. So at that point, y'all, I swear we was out there like baseball players. What? I ain't never knew me or Shorty had a mean arm like that. Okay, never knew. I mean, we throwing them joints so hard the shells is like up, like splashing us in the face type of thing, allegedly. And so I'm like, oh my God. And so after that, I'm like, this ain't enough. And so I'm like, give me the hammer. She's like, hammer, where the fuck is the hammer? Where the fuck is the hammer? So she's like, hammer, here. What? I come through like Bob the Builder. Boom. Every window that I could. Boom. And what I do right after that, I had some milk, poured it in the car, threw it in the car. If I had a match, I would have lit that hole on fire. So, boom, we skirt up off of the Mad you, I'm like, she was like, did you get the hammer? I was like, no, I didn't. So we had to back up. I had to stick my hand into, you know, the windows that I broke to get the hammer, because when I did the last one, it flew out of my hand allegedly. And so I'm like, oh my God. So it flew out of my hand. And so she was like, you gotta get that. So I went and I got it. And when I got it, it just scraped me up, you know what I'm saying? Scraped me up and, you know, whatever. So now, at this point, it all is what it is. Boom, the next day, I get a call from Spalding. I can't believe you did that. Victor, did you really do this? You know what I'm saying? Just hysterical. And I was like, what happened? Spalding like, well, the security at my apartments was like, hey, you haven't been to your car today? And, you know, Spalding like, nah, what's going on? He like, I think it was vandalized. And, you know, kind of started giving me the details of it. I was like, I don't know what happened. That's crazy. What? Truthfully, I don't know who did that to his car. I don't know who would want to do something like that to him. I don't know what happened. But I was just like, dang, for real? And he's sitting there laughing like, you really gonna act like you didn't do this? I'm not acting. I didn't do that. So that whole thing happened. So now at this point, we pretty much ain't really talking or nothing like that, right? This is probably like 3 weeks later. Me and T decide to go to Urban Social. We go to Urban Social, and I could just feel it. Like, I'm just such an energy person. I could just feel it. And I was like, bro, what if Spalding is here? We pull up in a parking lot. We walking because Urban Social is kind of on the corner right here. We walking right before we get to Urban, and I looked and I seen on a license plate. I said, no way. I said, he's here? He's in the vicinity? I said, no way. She's like, let's go in. So y'all, we goes in, and we go to the bathroom. So we go head all the way to the back and go to the bathroom. Why is he walking out the bathroom and literally sees me? And he looking at me and I'm looking at him and he looking at me and we looking at each other. I'm like, and he like, oh, well, how have you been? And I was like, good. And this big, tall, dark-skinned, Poseidon-looking Hercules man walked up to me all up in my face, completely unprovoked. All up in my face, talking about what's up, gripping and grabbing me and whatnot. He said, my son, you want to dance? You know what I'm saying? So I get to dancing with him. I didn't even finish conversation with dude ass. I'm like, fuck is we talking about, huh? So that is literally how it ended. And it's so crazy now that I'm even telling this story to like think about it. Like exactly where it started is literally exactly where it ended. And ever since then, y'all, I ain't heard from the man. Still watch my story to this day, but I have not heard from the man. I don't want to hear from the man. Never ever would I ever again for a little piece of change. No ma'am. No ma'am. It took me way too long to recognize my worth. I'm a completely better woman now. I don't condone any of the things talked about or, you know, explained in this story time. Do better, be better than me. Don't do it. But if somebody play with you, stay on business. But don't do what I allegedly did. But yes, y'all, that's gonna be the end of this story time. Okay, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought about this story time. And I'm about to get out of here because it's 2 a.m. and your girl is about to go to bed. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.